Welcome to Archive Obscura. Please help us bring you more of this type of content by liking and subscribing.
Once again went down, and I was once on the air when this happened. I forget, it was 2 or 3 in the morning, and everything went down. 11 western states. As a matter of fact, this was an exact duplicate. From Canada to northern Mexico, California, eastward to Colorado, poof, it all went down. Well, not all. Actually, we retained power here, even though we took a big hit. We somehow kept power here, but most people didn't. They say it began when 3 main transmission lines from Oregon to California went down. Now, I'm going to ask the same question tonight that I asked then. Power now has been restored to most of the West, not all of it. Salt Lake City at 102 degrees and no power. I'm missing something about the nature of the grid. Now, that means the knee bones connected to the thigh bone and so forth and so on, all across, apparently all across the West. And it was my understanding that the reason for the grid in the first place was so that if you lose power, breakers kick in, and other areas are protected, or the problem where the problem is isolated, and then other areas keep power. Obviously, it doesn't work that way. Not then, and not now. So what in the world is going on with our power grid? Whatever it is, they still have not obviously fixed it. So I don't know. If you have any comments, you're welcome to make them. I wonder if you lost power. It was about 1/3 of the United States, and I'll tell you what, baby, it was hot. Now, had the power gone out here, where I am, and stayed out, I would have had to have virtually abandoned the place. It would slowly have risen to about 110 or 12 degrees and would not be tenable. So power is very, very important in the middle of, for about 2 months during the summer. Any other time of the year, we'd be able to take it, no problem. Not now. So I don't understand this grid, and if you work for a power company, maybe you can make me understand. I would love that. If you can call and make me understand it, fine. But to me, it is supposed to protect against this kind of widespread outage, not invite it. Cigarettes, an issue now in the campaign, big time. It began when Bob Dole said tobacco may not be addictive for somebody. Or maybe it's not addictive for everybody. The press accused him of being in the pocket of big tobacco. As a matter of fact, Bob Dole said C.Ever Coop may have been brainwashed by the liberal media. Katie Couric did an interview with Bob Dole, which was terrible. Terrible. Yes, I saw it, and I've got a fax on it here. In the interview, Couric hit him pretty hard, and he came fighting back, this time with the mean-edged Bob Dole back again, said, the whole thing is because of the media. People like you, meaning Katie Couric and NBC, said the FEC might be interested in the liberal tilt to the media. Federal Election Commission, in other words, that it is not fair. Here is a fax. Did you happen, Art, to catch Katie Couric interviewing Bob Dole on this morning's Today Show? Art, I am really trying to give this man a chance, but he never fails to disappoint. Dole's performance was lousy. Watching it was physically painful. The presumptive Republican presidential nominee, sitting hunched, ill at ease, next to his wife, was totally derailed by Couric's questioning regarding campaign contributions by tobacco interests. Dole's response to Couric was an odd and unattractive mixture of muffled anger and barely concealed befuddlement. His poorly prepped face, an alluvial fan of wrinkles and crevices. He lamely moralized about the evils of smoking while simultaneously defending his acceptance of tobacco industry money. Why didn't his handlers better prepare him for Courick's predictable line of questioning? It just doesn't work, Art. Dole can't cut the mustard anymore. If he's not able to hold his own with Katie Couric, why should we expect anything but a decisive massacre at the hands of Bill Clinton in the presidential debates? Who wants another geriatric figurehead president precariously propped up with 3x5 cards furnished by unknown and unelected presidential underlings? We need a leader, not a card reader. Stop the campaign. I want to get off. Pretty rough, but that, I'm sorry to say, does fairly accurately, in my opinion, describe the interview with Couric in the morning. It was terrible. Terrible. Yesterday evening, we discussed later in the show what Mesa, Arizona has done. They have disallowed smoking in public places, any public city buildings, which would affect smoking in jail, by the way. You cannot smoke on the sidewalk. I thought you'd want to know. As a matter of fact, somebody sent me a conversation they had with the police dispatcher in Mesa about smoking in Mesa. And he called and said, well, can I smoke on the sidewalk? And they said, no. Sorry, sir, you cannot. Can I smoke in my car? Yes, sir, you can. Can I smoke if the top on my car is down? I don't know, sir. Please hold. They put him through to a desk sergeant. Wasn't sure either. Well, yes, you can smoke on a motorcycle. So it's pretty serious. This is the first really complete smoking ban that I've seen, folks, in Mesa, Arizona. I mean, you cannot smoke on a city sidewalk out in the middle of the air because you're going to be that close to any business. So you're out of luck, out of luck. 4th of July crowds face a threat on Florida and Alabama beaches. Thousands of hardhead catfish with razor-sharp barbed fins have washed ashore. It's not known what is killing them. Dozens of people have been hurt by barbs. Doctors frequently have to cut them out. So they're dying like flies. Another warning? You tell me. An 11-year-old boy who was originally heralded as a hero in a Portland, Oregon fire last week has been charged with 8 counts of murder in the arson. So it looks like our hero was actually the one that did the torching. Police say they arrested him after they interviewed him about the fire that killed 8 people, including 5 other children. In the aftermath of the blaze, the boy's family had called him a hero for alerting them to the fire which broke out in the middle of the night. A local law enforcement official says he's still shocked by the outcome of the investigation. Well, I'm not. 2 twin 6-year-old boys in kind of an ultimate fighting championship promoted by their mother, who videotaped the whole scene for later entertainment, a bloody fight. You tell me what's going on. If this is not the quickening, then what is it? Now, dear Art, this is typical. I've received so many. I will simply read you this one, all right? Art, I haven't seen a movie opening like this in years. I stood in line for a half an hour with about 600 other people to get in to see Independence Day. My high expectations were surpassed. First, 2001, A Space Oddity. Then Star Wars. Being a Trekkie, it was cool to see Data as a long-haired, freaky scientist. Love your show. That's Jim from Phoenix. So there you go. That is typical of the response I'm getting to ID4. It is going to be a smash hit, probably going to be the movie of the year. The Lockheed Martin Skunk Works awarded the contract for the new shuttle, or the more accurately, replacement for the shuttle, the X-33, experimental now, a wedge-shaped craft, very weird. It will, they say, operate at 1/10 the cost of the shuttle, fly 40 times a year, carry hundreds of people into space instead of just a few. Could be in orbit in a decade. If we get busy now, will service our space station. The Viper militia in Arizona, 12 now in custody, all accused of a frightening plot to blow up federal buildings in the Phoenix area. How were they caught? Very interesting story. November 13th of 95, a deer hunter apparently stumbled into a Viper training exercise out in the middle of the Arizona desert. So one man, deputized by the ATF, infiltrated this militia. But one of the Viper militia guys, was an AT&T employee working with the Vipers. Got phone records of the guy on the inside and turned them over to the Viper militia. Presumably, these phone numbers went to, perhaps the ATF. And so, presumably, at that point, this guy's life was in danger. Somehow, he managed to convince them that he was not a cop. But they then made him take an oath, which said, quote, if need be, I will enter into mortal combat against enemies of the U.S. Constitution and the U.S. militia to carry out this oath, so help me God. It's about 440 militias out there right now. And NBC last night had the ATF on there saying they're scared. The ones they know about are fine. Mostly the big ones, Militia of Montana, that kind of group. And that's fine. The ones to worry about are the small cells, not of apparent idiots like this group, but small, secretive cells that they believe are forming all over the country to do exactly this kind of thing, blow up buildings. Here's a fax from somebody in Phoenix. Hi, Art, regarding the Viper militia. One of the houses raided in connection with this odd group is just down the street from me and around the corner. We live in the Northern Mountain Preserve area, a housing development called Ocatello Hills. My home and many others are on peaks and sides of this beautiful mountainous region with a little road that leads up to some of the most private and elegant homes in the neighborhood. Last July 22nd, at about 6:10 p.m., there was a tremendous explosion. A noise so loud, I thought a plane had crashed into our house. It also happened to be my birthday, so I don't forget the date. At our next block watch meeting, we had a representative of the Phoenix Police Department speak. He'd come to let us know that various state departments were looking into this explosion, working on it, which was described as a carload of dynamite set off on the private mountain road. As the months passed, there were several other explosions in our general area, including a Humane Society truck blown up in its parking lot. At the block watch meetings, we were updated on the investigations into the explosions. But the story was that some kids had stolen dynamite from a construction site and were playing around with it. So there you go. This obviously has been going on for some time now. The voters in Russia are going to the polls now in an election that will either give Yeltsin another 4 years as president or return a communist leader to the Kremlin. Turnout is up slightly from the first round, And that would bode well for Boris Yeltsin, who probably is going to get 4 more years. Whether he will live through them or not is another question. The Menendez brothers, Lyle and Eric, got life in prison without parole. And they said they would like to be in the same jail together, so they might complete their college education together in jail. And I guess I've got to ask whether you think this is really justice for murder in the first. Is it? If you plan something, take a gun, and in a modern version of Liz Borden's adventure, give your mom and dad 40 whacks and blow their bodies to pieces with shotguns, is it really justice to trot off to jail to finish your college education? I wonder. Somebody sent this to me earlier in the day, and I could not resist reading it. It is political humor. Some will find it distasteful, but I found it humorous. Some positions have opened up on the White House staff. Should you apply for them? Well, let's see if you have the right stuff. Do you suffer from convenient memory loss at opportune moments? Do you have an irresistible compulsion to shred incriminating documents, especially after they're subpoenaed? Can you lie at will, convincingly, under oath, in court, and before Congress? Can you lie convincingly enough to beat a polygraph test? When the next scandal hits, can you take the blame, even though it's actually HRC's fault? That'd be Hillary Rodham Clinton. Do you know what fetch the soap means, and are you willing to grab your ankles first and ask questions later? Will you share your drugs with others? If you answered yes to all these questions, then maybe you too can be one of the few, the proud, the unindicted co-conspirators. Yes, a member of the White House staff. The few, the proud, the unindicted. All right, we're going to break here at the bottom of the hour, and then we will launch into the unknown, unscreened, two-way talk radio.
This is Premier Networks. That was Art Bell. Listening to Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. Tonight featuring Coast to Coast AM from July 2nd, 1996.
Now, I don't like to harp on this power thing, but you don't suppose our friends up in Alaska might have thrown the switch earlier today, huh? Harp. Or maybe it was a publicity stunt for the opening of ID4. Actually, it would have come at the time that a lot of people would have been watching ID4, and I wonder how many projectors went down as the lights in the theater went off. Hadn't thought about that. I'll have to give it a little thought. The top 10 things that might have caused the power outage earlier in the day. Anybody want to take a shot at that? All right, open line talk radio. We'll see what kind of trouble we can get into tonight. First time caller line, you are upon the air. Hello.
Good evening, Art. My name's Tony in El Paso.
Hi, Tony. How is El Paso?
We have electricity for the moment, but that's you never know here.
Did you lose it earlier in the day?
No, we've lost it 2 or 3 times over the past 9 months, citywide.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank goodness we didn't hear. It was 112 degrees.
Ouch.
This afternoon, so it would have been very uncomfortable.
Do I understand correctly you served in Vietnam?
Yes.
Thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you for saying that. Not too many people do.
Well, I mean it.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. About this piling on the Clinton administration.
Yes.
A lot of people piled on Dan Quayle. It did not seem to affect his numbers upward.
Oh, it affected his numbers, all right.
But
as a matter of fact, it ruined his career, actually.
Doesn't seem to be affecting ruining Bill Clinton's.
I know. I know. But it has in a way, not in the sense of ruining, in the opposite sense. In other words, there have been so many things that, particularly a lot of talk hosts around the country, and I won't even name them. I could, but I won't.
I listen to them all.
Yeah, they spend all their hours battering Bill Clinton over whatever, Whitewater, whatever. And they've done it so much that when something finally very serious came along, people just took it in stride. I mean, they were numb.
Well, I have a question for your, possibly the members of your audience can answer for me. Why does Bill Clinton merit a second term?
I have no answer for that.
We were asking the question about Bush 4 years ago, and I'd like to...
Well, all right. Did you see Bob Dole with Katie Couric?
I did indeed, yes, and I was curious why...
Well, then it won't. Bill Clinton will get another 4 years, but it won't have anything to do with merit.
Well, they have a rule at the White House. If you smoke tobacco at the White House, you're fired, yet he smokes cigars at the White House.
Well, he does, but he goes out on the balcony, I'm told, to do it.
Well, he's at the White House.
Thank you very much for the call. Why does Bill Clinton merit 4 more years? Well, he doesn't, in my opinion. But those of you who have watched Bob Dole time and time again, somebody sent me a copy of a speech he made earlier today by email, and I'm not even going to read it to you. It's pathetic. You know, it's basically, hi, I'm Bob Dole. Bob Dole wants to be president. Bob Dole has wanted to be president for a long time. And Bob Dole's American dream is to be president, and on and on. Boy, I'll tell you. I'll say it again tonight. I have had, and I still have, an open invitation to Bob Dole to come on this program. Not for a short little interview, but to spend 2 or 3 hours with us. And it's his only chance. Not this program. I mean, he can do it with somebody else with a good national audience. But he better do it. He better, maybe sitting at home, relaxed, not under pressure, and he better let the American people get to know him, or this man does not stand a chance. Not a chance. So the invitation remains open. First-time caller line, you're on the air. Hi. Well, you would have been. A click. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, Art.
Hello.
I called because I just got back from Independence Day.
Now, I'm going to lay down the ground rules right now.
I'm not going to tell you anything about it.
That's right. I have not seen the movie, and this goes for everybody out there. Now, listen to me for a second. I know you're all going to be very excited about ID4, but the rules are no telling the plot, only a review of cool, I liked it, scale of 10, whatever you want to do, that's fine, but no giving away of the plot. Go ahead, sir.
All right. Scale of 1 to 10, it's probably a 100. This is an excellent movie. Special effects are great. Everything is great. There are little references about 2001 and the day the Earth stood still and everything. This is one of the biggest movies I've ever seen.
Do you think it will become the movie of the year?
Oh, it already is in my book.
Really?
I thought for the summer, I saw Mission Impossible. That was all right. Saw Racer. I thought that was better than Mission Impossible. But this just...
Listen, within 2 weeks, Mission Impossible won't even be on the charts anymore.
Oh, I know.
All right. Well, listen, thank you. We'll put that down. We'll see if anybody was disappointed.
Oh, I don't think anybody would be.
We'll see. We'll see.
Right.
All right. I mean, everybody is a critic, and there will be some, no doubt, that didn't like it. But I must say, the faxes I've been receiving are uniformly in praise of ID4. I told you this was going to be a monster, and it is. Wildcard line, you're on the air. Hello.
Charlie, Liveron, California.
Wow.
Yeah, before I get to Dole, I have to say something about this Independence Day crap. Yeah, it was a good movie, no question about that. But
did you see it? Wait a minute. Have you seen it?
Yeah. I'll tell you something about this kind of stuff, where it shows the aliens coming to the world and destroying it. The aliens are a bunch of screw-ups, and we human beings are so nice and good, and we win out over the evil aliens. If I were an alien sitting watching a bunch of crap like that, I'd try to destroy the humans just so they wouldn't spread their garbage throughout the universe. I think it shows you how twisted our minds are.
Really really high on humanity, huh, Charlie?
Well, stuff like that really puts, it really turns on a light as far as what humanity is all about. As far as anybody who's not like us, well, they obviously have to be evil and they have to be out to get us because we're good.
Is that not how you think of Republicans, Charles?
Well, you Republicans have that record. Let me tell you about why is something. Here's what Bob Dole is bucking against.
Yes.
No president this century, and I heard this on a TV show today. I won't mention the name, but it mentioned that no president this century has ever been booted out of office who had a reasonably good economy, and no major foreign policy blunders.
Yep.
And so he's got Bob Dole has to buck up against that. And then there's something strange out there. The two Republicans that were defeated in the last 20 years for the presidency, Ford and Bush, their last names had 4 letters in them.
Mm-hmm.
Dole's last name has 4 letters in it, so it's kind of just
Are we into a little political numerology now, Charles?
Very strange. But the thing about Bob Dole, if I were Bob Dole, you're going up against a guy who has more charisma than you do. If you're going up against a guy who has more charisma, he's got all these trends in his favor. The thing about it is you have to try to not make any big mistakes and hope something happens in either foreign policy or something goes wrong around the world, because the world is not constant. Things are going on, and that's what I would hope, just to stay in the ball game and not make any big blunders. But the thing about Bob Dole, he can't even do that because he's got this damn temper of his that's always hurt him, consistently hurt him. Even against Bush when he came on the air on that one show and said, "Why do you keep lying about my record?" Which it was true. Bush was lying about his record, but it made Dole look like the sucker in that.
Mm.
And so he needs to mellow down on his that temper of his and just play it close to the vest, hope something happens to Clinton. If something does not happen, Clinton is going to win the election.
I don't disagree, thank you. I don't disagree. That is my assessment as well. I watched carefully the Couric interview, and it was a disaster. It was an absolute disaster. The facts I read accurately described it. Bob Dole looked and sounded terrible. You can have a temper, but you've got to project it in a non-mean-spirited way. And the way he came across was a contentious, mean-spirited Bob Dole. It's not going to work. So Charlie is right. The best thing Bob Dole could do would be to sort of stay on an even keel and hope to hell something happens. I've said it right along. President Clinton is going to have to do himself in. He's fully capable of that, by the way. But barring that, he is going to be reelected. I've come to terms with it. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Oh, hello. I was calling about these...
Turn your radio off, sir.
Yeah, I just did.
That's good.
Sorry about that. I was calling about this event that I've heard you mention as the quickening.
Yes.
And the first time I've called, and I'm not sure if you're ascribing any sort of mystical...
I don't ascribe any power behind it. I just observe it. In other words, maybe it's God, maybe it's the devil at work on earth, maybe it's the final days, maybe it's a lot of things. I don't know.
Well, see, I've thought about this quite a bit, and I have a few observations. The thing that I've always understood is that technology, the physical background, tends to drive our culture, meaning what we can do, the things that are possible for us to do, that sort of thing, like how large our world is, what we can see, what we can do. And the thing is that the technology is changing so quickly. I think that's what tends to be driving our culture. And you see things that I've heard people describe as sort of half-jokingly as bad craziness. Like you mentioned the mother with the 2 boys.
Yes.
And it's always been my thought that what's happening is that the technology is moving so quickly that our culture just doesn't have time to adjust. And what needs to occur is some sort of cultural transformation. We need to be able to have a culture that can adjust itself.
I don't think this vehicle has reverse.
The quickening?
Well, if you think of society as a vehicle, I don't think it's got a reverse gear. I don't think there's any going back. I think we're going forward to what is next. There's going to be a change.
Well, see, that's my thought. I don't want it to go into reverse.
I likened it once to, you remember the old movie High and Mighty? Maybe you don't. You're probably not old enough. Anyway, it was a good John Wayne movie. And, you have this thing where in the old days with the piston engine aircraft, you'd get a little more than halfway across the Pacific Ocean, and you would come to a point of no return to where you had to go forward. If something went wrong, it was impossible. You didn't have enough gas to go back. And I don't think we've got enough gas to go back. I think the little red light in the cockpit, point of no return, came on a little while ago.
Yes.
I don't mean to depress you, but I just...
Oh, it doesn't depress me. In fact, it excites me. I think what's going to happen is, our culture has to become more dynamic. It has to be able to adjust more rapidly. And frankly, I think the coming century is going to be an extremely exciting one, and I'm glad I'm going to spend the majority of my life in it. But unfortunately, we have a lot of growing pains to go through, and we see them more and more every day.
I appreciate the call, sir, and I agree, and that is the way I feel about it, and that's just the observation of somebody who does a talk show. Day in and day out sees stories like this one about the 6-year-olds. Mom lets them go into a blood sport fight for entertainment, tapes it for later enjoyment, that sort of thing. Oh, no, the light in the cockpit, she's blinking hard. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, this is Pat from Michigan calling.
Hello, Pat.
I'd just like to comment. I'm a first-time caller.
Right.
And I'd like to comment on your story about the twins.
Yes.
I saw it on the news tonight.
Right.
And it was a boy and a girl.
Okay, I heard 2 boys, but a boy and a girl then, okay.
Yes, it was a boy and a girl. And I mean to tell you, it was really a bloody sight.
Yeah.
They were punching each other, and the little boy was bleeding, and it showed today the parents in court, and they didn't even want to look. And it was just something terrible. And I only live 2 miles away from Warren.
Do you really?
Yes, and I just can't believe.
Has that been a big topic on talk radio up there?
No, not recently, but it's been hitting the news over and over, and now they're showing more and more of the video on TV.
Yep.
And it's just, something awful that you just can't realize it would be happening.
Well, our society is in an obvious state of social deterioration. There's no question.
Yeah, I agree.
The only question is where it's going and what's coming next.
Yes.
And I'm not sure. What do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I think there's some people are just raising their children the wrong way, and it's like, it's kill or be killed, and...
Do you think the trumpets might sound and the good Lord might make his reappearance and sort of wipe everything clean?
Oh, I'm tending to agree with that. Believe me, it's like,
Yeah.
Back when I was, young, it's like, totally different from today. The society has changed so much, and so many things are happening. And
if you were the guy in charge or the gal in charge up there, and you look down on Earth now and you looked at all that was going on, the way man was treating man and all the rest of it, and you had ultimate power, what would you do?
What would I do?
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not used to having power.
Well, I just gave it to you.
Okay.
It's your one big chance. You can do anything you want.
Well, I can't answer that one. I just can't. I always just like to see peace and stop all this brutality amongst everybody, all the nations, all the countries, because it's too much bloodshed. And I would just like to just take like a magic wand and say, peace to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But
sort of a female version of Rodney King. Why can't we all get along, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Why can't we all get along?
I don't know why not. I appreciate your call, ma'am. I don't know why we can't all get along, but we can't. And arguably, it is becoming worse, not better. The sort of things with the twins, all of the signs that nature is supplying us with, the general mood of the people, all of it is worsening. It's not getting better, and I think it's past the point of no return. Now, that doesn't mean that I think the world is going to end, though it might. What it means is that I think there's going to be a massive redefinition, a massive, I hate to use it because it is so overused, paradigm shift. And a lot of people are not going to make it from here to there. But the ones that make it from here to there are going to be part of what comes next. And I'm not trying to be intentionally obscure. I simply don't have all the answers. I'm just, a talk show host. I monitor daily events. I monitor the news. And I've been doing so for the better part of 12 years on this show, this program, this particular all-night show. I've been very carefully monitoring the news. And I began some years ago to notice a trend that has been quickening. That's where I came up with the word, quickening. Events accelerating at an ever-increasing pace, the quickening. Social deterioration, the likes of which I have never, ever seen. Do I know what it means? No, I truly don't. I am only an observer. I am not a prophet, though I have prophets on the show, and I have people like Major Dames and others who foresee very serious things ahead. I'm not one of those. At least I don't see them that way. I see merely what is going on, and I'm capable of projecting where it's headed. That's all. Not a prophet, not a seer. Not even a religious person, but one who knows that if a leader blew up too many shredders across the country trying to shred Clinton documents all at once, radio's all turning on to listen to Art Bell. Wrong time. Technical problem with a special effect during the film of the new movie ID4 versus Twister. All employees at the power plant eaten by a chupacabra. Radar at airports overloaded as aliens land in an attempt to get in line for ID4. Really intense testing on Art's parts overloads circuitry. Art plugs all of his ham radio equipment in at once. Not funny. Charlie Liberal drains power attempting to connect to his home planet. Art, you mentioned all the barbaric acts being committed by adults and children alike. Yes, for example, the mother with the twin children in the blood sport fight that was videotaped for entertainment. My question is, where is the grand old deity while all this is going on? I respect any person's right to believe in a God, but how can anyone really say they know there is one when children are killing people and adults are murdering their children? Mark, the atheist in Louisiana, never letting an opportunity to get his 2 cents in. Art, why did the power go out today? Real aliens are angry, very angry, about the movie Independence Day, because they lose. The Bob Dole candidacy makes me believe in conspiracies. That is the only way I can explain why the Republican powers that be want to hand the election to Bill Clinton. It's really sad. There's still time to find another candidate, if such a thing is possible. I'm not sure it is. I think it's probably too late. The election is going to be a crowning. And that brings up the interview with Katie Couric, and I did see the interview with Katie Couric with Bob Dole. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. And somebody sent me a fax earlier that really, really sums it up quite well. Did you happen to catch the Katie Couric interview of Bob Dole on this morning's Today Show? Art, I'm really trying to give this man a chance, but he never fails to disappoint. Dole's performance was lousy. Watching it was physically painful. The presumptive Republican nominee, sitting hunched ill at ease next to his wife, was totally derailed by Couric's questioning regarding campaign contributions by tobacco interests. Dole's response to Couric was an odd and unattractive mixture of muffled anger, barely concealed befuddlement. His poorly prepped face an alluvial fan of wrinkles and crevices. He lamely moralized about the evils of smoking while simultaneously defending his acceptance of tobacco industry money. Why didn't his handlers better prepare him for Couric's predictable line of questions? It just doesn't work hard. Dole can't cut the mustard anymore. If he is not able to hold his own with Katie Couric, why should we expect anything but a decisive massacre at the hands of Bill Clinton in the presidential debates? Who wants another geriatric figurehead president precariously propped up with 3x5 cards furnished by unknown and unelected presidential underlings? We need a leader, not a card reader. Stop the campaign. I want to get off. And then finally, I was complaining about the Menendez brothers. Somebody sent me this. Aren't justice for the Menendez brothers? I don't think so. But I believe it was Lyle who put it best in an interview. He said, quote, we admitted we did it. It's not like we claimed we were out in the yard chipping golf balls, end quote. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, Mr. Bell.
That's me.
Yeah. I'm a first-time caller.
Okay.
And I wanted to take issue with something that was said last week on your show.
Okay.
Okay. It was just a chance comment. I think you were talking to Charlie Liberal.
Mm-hmm.
And the comment was made that mentally ill people don't know that they are.
That's right.
And I am mentally ill.
And you know you are.
And I know that I am. And I'm controlled with medications and therapy and coping mechanisms.
Ah, yes, but it was not until you had that treatment and you had that medication that you recognized your former state was not sane.
That's not true. I did know there was a problem.
Okay, I'm sure some people do, but it was sort of a generalized comment made in a political argument because Charlie was saying, I think, that all conservatives are mentally ill or something like that, and so I flew back at him, and it was in that spirit. And it is true, as you well know, that a lot of people who suffer some form of mental illness think the rest of the world is nuts.
And maybe it is.
Yeah, I've considered that.
No, I just wanted to call and say that because so many people listen to you and respect what you have to say. And I mean, I know I do. I listen to you every night. And there's just so much misinformation out about mentally ill. I'll tell you, I'm in an interracial marriage.
Mm-hmm.
My husband's what they call black.
Mm-hmm.
I'm what they call white.
Mm-hmm.
And I have much, much more trouble with prejudice and discrimination being mentally ill than I do being, in an interracial marriage.
Well, it must complicate matters for you further.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just when there's something said from somebody I respect like you, I just wanted to call in and say, hey,
well, the spirit of the comment, dear lady, was in combating Charles, who was throwing around, as he usually does, invective about, painting all Republicans with a broad brush of insanity. I appreciate your call. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Take care. And that was the spirit of the comment, if you recall the conversation, which I do. It is said, actually, that 1 out of 4 people in the country are or do suffer some form of mental illness. Now, maybe that's just the psychiatrist's hopeful number, or maybe there is some truth to it. I suspect there may be some truth to it. I mean, I'm not even sure we know what full sanity is. And maybe we are the ones, maybe 3 out of 4, who think they're sane actually are the ones who are, not playing with a full deck. Maybe there is not really such a thing as playing with a full deck, and maybe a lot of the people that are presently in asylums thought to be hopelessly antisocial and mentally disturbed are actually simply in a bit of a different place than we are. Who knows? First-time caller line, you're on the air.
Yeah, about the attention deficit disorder, like mental illness and things. I was just thinking that maybe everyone has it to some degree in a different area, and people are using it as a crutch.
Well, maybe. Maybe it is a real problem.
Well, I don't know. I just came up with that idea. I was thinking that in some ways people do use it as a crutch, and so that's all I had to say about that.
All right, sir. Thank you. Maybe. An awful lot of children now, as you know, are on medication for that particular malady. By the way, I'm going to be here live throughout the holiday. Not going to take a day off. Might as well be here. I'm going to have a vacation in August, so I can wait for that. So I'll be live throughout the weekend, at least through the July 4th holiday, and then my normal weekend. Dreamland also is going to be live. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hi, Art. Dominic, Rochester, New York.
How you doing?
Good. Before I comment on Clinton and Dole, I remember the other night you were mentioning about looking at the stars out from Pahrump.
Oh, yes.
When I lived out in Vegas, I lived up near on Rancho Road, going up toward Mount Charleston.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, it felt like you could reach up and touch them.
Oh, that's correct, yes.
And there's no place like that I've ever seen, any place I've been. But anyway, I think that, speaking for myself, I'm just an average Joe, and I can't see the Dole doing anything, and it's like the Republican Party says, he's like a little baby, says, I want to be president, and he got the nomination, and we don't even know who his running mate's going to be, and he seems disoriented. He's got rid of his advisors 2 or 3 times already, and Bill Clinton can keep doing all these things wrong, and it's like we don't have any hope for anything. I feel like I feel like I don't have a choice on anything, and there's no candidate worthy right now, and I don't know.
I think your complaint, sir, is entirely a valid one. I do. I, too, feel there is no choice. And people continually ask me why I'm disenchanted with politics. Why am I disenchanted? I just, I'm bored with it. I see no hope. I have no hope. I suppose the country will survive another 4 years with Bill Clinton. We'll still be here. So maybe that's hope. We have survived so far the Clinton presidency. Nothing really horrible has happened. And my hope for the next 4 years is identical. Please, O Lord, let there not be a major foreign policy crisis. Let the country chug along in neutral, with the economy staying reasonable, and maybe it'll all be okay. What do you think? Wildcard line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Art.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello again.
Hey, I've got a theory for that power outage today.
Don't we all? What is yours?
I think it was Madman Markham, to tell you the truth.
I've got to call Madman. I know where he is now.
Do you Yeah, you got to get a hold of him. Maybe he finally did it, or he's just practicing for Charlie to go through there next.
Well, I think Kansas City was not included, so it would have been a good theory had that been the case. But
Maybe he moved.
No, he's still outside Kansas City. Now, maybe he was able...
Well,
where are you?
Go ahead.
Where are you?
I'm Kodiak Island, Alaska.
Oh, I was wondering why we had such a delay. Kodiak Island, all right.
Yeah. Well, darn it. I was hoping it was the old madman, and he'd finally done it. If you could ever get him back on the air again, that was great. That was one of the best interviews you ever had.
I see. All right, I will try and get Madman Markham back for you. I've been meaning to do that. He is resuming his experiments. So you never know. Maybe it was Madman. That was a wild interview. One of these days, we should replay that interview. In fact, maybe we'll do it when I'm on vacation. A lot of people on the network now never did hear that. And then what I ought to do is bring him back for sort of an encore and see where he has gone from where he was. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Oh, hi, Art. Let me turn off my radio.
That's
real
good.
Quick.
Yes. Where are you?
I'm in Portland, Oregon.
All right.
And, yeah, I've got several points that I wanted to hit, if I could, real quick, if I can hit them. First off, regarding Dole's lousy performance in campaigning in general, as well as today, and also regarding what's being piled on Clinton and his apparently surviving it.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that last fax that you read. It almost makes you want to believe in conspiracies. It looks to me as if Dole has known that he's going to lose right from the outset. As for what the reason is for that, I think there's more than rumor and innuendo that might point out why. What with the new Aldrich book and all of the controversy surrounding that, people seem to be just getting used to a lot of, gossip that can't quite be confirmed.
That's right. It actually is helpful.
Yeah, indeed it is, and moreover, it tends to drive down the number of people that are going to vote, and I think powerful people like that. But, I think for those who see that the Aldrich book is just a lot of gossip, there's something else out there, another book out there that's been out for some time, that most of the talk show hosts, left and right, really don't want to touch.
What is it?
Well, I would first of all urge that people evaluate it for themselves if they want to have a look at it, make up their own minds about it like everything. You're probably somewhat familiar with it. It's called Compromised, Clinton, Bush, and the CIA.
Sure.
It's by Terry Reid and John Cummings.
Right.
It, has gotten hardly any press. Or, in the mainstream press, because it would be...
To me, sir, it is part of the same group of publications, videotapes, and all the rest of it that, I'm sorry, has been helpful in the long run to the Clinton administration because it has so numbed people, so numbed them, that when a real problem came along, the FBI files, people didn't even notice.
Well, I would just urge people, if they want to just have a look at it for themselves and make up their own minds. It's available from Sapolsky Publishers.
Yep.
It's still out there. It's available. And
all right, sir, I appreciate the call. Thank you. I think people know where to get it. It's been talked about on talk radio extensively. As a matter of fact, I had Terry Reid on many years. I think, as I said yesterday, and I stand by it, that the American people are absolutely numb. That everything but the kitchen sink has been thrown at Bill Clinton. So much so that it's like the party that cried wolf. Now that we've got something serious, people are not paying attention. So in a kind of a weird, twisted, backward way, all of this has ended up helping Bill Clinton. Then you've got Bob Dole. What a terrible disaster with Couric. What a disaster. I'm going to say it again and again until somebody in the Dole campaign finally hears me. If this man is to have any chance at all, he needs to come on a program like this one, or Rush, or Liddy, or somebody who will give him a good, extensive... I'll tell you something. If the Dole people called me and said, we'll give you 15 minutes or 30 minutes, I'd turn it down. What we need is about 2 or preferably 3 hours with Bob Dole. right here in the middle of the night, Bob Dole sitting at home with the telephone, relaxed, and just talk to us about who he is. I see that now as the only chance. The only chance. I really mean this. Somebody who will not go after him the way Couric did. Somebody who will try to get to the base, the center of Bob Dole. And if he could relax enough, to do a interview and really let us know what he's all about, then maybe there might be a chance. But if there is a succession of the kind of interviews he had yesterday, it is going to be a massacre at the polls. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Yeah, this is Colt from Nampa, Idaho.
Yes, sir.
And I just have a comment on the power outage.
Okay.
And my thought is, that we have the power out, and all that we use during the day. Excuse me, it's first time caller. That we need during the daytime, and we always take for granted for what we don't or should have.
Okay. I'm not sure I'm clear. Obviously, you're nervous.
Yes.
You mean we take for granted the power we get?
Yeah. For what we use during daytime.
And you never know what you got till it's gone.
Correct.
There you go. All right, sir. Thank you. It takes a little while to get used to being on talk radio, I guess. And some people come on, they're nervous. Some people come on and they just, sort of go. No problem. Other people need to be on several times before the nervousness leaves. With regard to the power outage, I once again ask all of you, do any of you have any idea why this grid that is out there, which is supposedly formed to have relays to shut down and isolate the problem and allow everybody else to keep their power, why this grid goes down like so many dominoes every time there is a problem? Shouldn't somebody be working on this? Why does it always have to all go down? We'll be back.
This is Premier Networks. That was Art Bell hosting Coast to Coast AM on this Somewhere in Time. Take you back to the past on Art Bell Somewhere in Time.
And yet another list of the top 10 reasons for the Western blackouts. 10. Independence Day promotion. 9. Rush Limbaugh microwaving lunch. 8. Art Bell testing a new Bob Crane toy. 7. Republican Party trying to shock life into Bob Dole. 6. Cheap trick by the National Association of Broadcasters to increase ratings. 5. Tom Leykis's electric toothbrush. 4. Millions going online for the first annual Cyber Sex Festival. 3. Bill Gates turned on all the lights in his new mansion. 2. The Unabomber got hold of a C battery and a bobby pin. And the number one reason for the blackout, Madman Markham. If this continues, we will have to call Madman and inquire. And then this. Art, you have invited Dole for an interview. Have you invited Clinton? Equal time. Signed, AJ. I hereby invite Bill Clinton. I'd love to interview Bill Clinton. I'd love to. You bet I would. I'm also inviting Harry Brown. He'll be here. He is, I don't know if you want to use the phrase, the presumptive nominee, but I believe that over this July 4th convention they'll have in Washington, Harry Brown will be the nominee. And at that point, I will have him back on the air again. So, I'd like to have them all on. But not for little whistle-stop interviews. I want them for an hour, minimum. 2 to 3 hours would be better. I really think that we need to get to know these men, particularly in the case of Bob Dole. I think it's a make or break deal. And I wouldn't say going on Imus for a little joke festival is the way to go either. I would think that a very serious, down-to-earth, relaxed conversation with Bob Dole is in order. And if nothing comes out of that, and I think it would, but if nothing comes out of that, then all hope, in my opinion, is gone. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello. You have hum.
Okay. I'm on the air right now?
Well, if you're not, we're both in trouble.
Okay. Well, I just had a comment to make on where you said if there's a God that exists, where could he be? Because of the way things are right now.
That was Mark the atheist in Louisiana.
Oh, okay. Well,
what is your comment?
Well, it's just that the fact that he's a God of love, for him to allow the world to keep going. And it's only for the reason of the possibility that people might turn their hearts to him. That's the only reason he'd allow it to continue as long as he has. Mm-hmm. It's because he desires that everybody be saved.
Mm-hmm. All right, dear, thank you. I wish that I had that sort of feeling. I don't think so. To me, it is simply a matter of free will. The deity has allowed free will. You can be good, you can be bad. On balance, at some point, he'll look down and he'll see that more are bad than good, and then it's everybody out of the swimming pool, Wildcard line, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hello, Art. This is John from Milwaukee.
Yes, sir.
A couple things. First, have you read the July issue of Smithsonian?
No.
Okay, they have an article in here concerning Mount Rainier.
Oh?
Saying that it's going to be like Mount St. Helens, only worse in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
And you might want to look that up.
Okay.
And second is concerning the Sphinx.
The Sphinx.
I think that's how you say that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think there might be two possibilities of what might be in that hidden chamber. First thing might be, it might be an empty bottle. Just like Al Capone left.
An empty bottle?
Yeah, that's all that Al Capone had left.
Mm-hmm. You don't think the Sphinx would hold something greater than an empty bottle?
Well, I was thinking of something else. You know what I think might be in there?
What?
The Sphinx's nose.
All right, thank you very much for the call. The Sphinx's nose. Or an empty bottle. I don't know. I'd like to know what's in there. I wonder if we will ever know, and I have serious doubts that we will. First-time caller line, you're on the air. Hi.
Hi. I got in a little late this evening. I'm calling from Colorado, but wondered if anybody had mentioned what a kink in the works that Richard Lamb's candidacy for the Perot political party might be.
No, I don't know what you mean.
Dick Lamb from Colorado.
I know of Dick Lamb, yes. Mm-hmm. Governor Lamb, yes.
Yes.
What about him?
Well, what kind of kinks do you think he'll throw into the election?
I don't know. What do you think?
His candidacy, I don't know. I mean, I
haven't heard a lot about it. Have you?
Yes, on CBS this evening, Dan Rather reported that he's going to throw his hat in the ring next Tuesday.
All right, dear. Well, we will ask people. I wasn't even aware of that, so we'll ask around, see what people think. I haven't heard much about a Lamb campaign. There are several others running. Ralph Nader is running. Harry Brown is running. There are quite a few others running. Lamb may be running. I hadn't heard that. What effect will it have? I don't know. Probably not much. On our international line, you're on the air. Good morning. Where are you, please?
I'm in Melbourne, Australia. G'day, Art.
Good day to you as well, sir.
Hey, just haven't been able to catch up with you much because I've been traveling around down here and getting the internet connection sometimes a little skippy.
Yes.
But I was wondering, I remember one time when I was up in Hawaii listening to you, and Elizabeth was talking to you about xenoestrogens.
Yes.
Have you seen a article that's in a magazine called Nixus about hormone heresy?
I have, yes.
Yeah, Mona may be pretty interested in that as well.
Indeed.
And I'd like to see if you could get an opportunity to interview that doctor that references in there, Dr. Lee.
Yes.
He's in America.
Oh, yes.
And it'd be a pretty amazing bunch of information, because I also reference back to when you were having a few days discussion about the lowering of the sperm count and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
And it seems like that may have some aspect to it as well. And I just want to say a cheerio to Keith, because he's doing a great job on your website.
He certainly is.
It's just getting better and better every time I go in and look at it. It's just absolutely superb and chock-a-block with all kinds of great information.
All right, sir. Thank you. Yes, Keith is doing a wonderful job. That's Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne, Australia, I guess is the way you say it. If you would like to call us internationally, I'm always neglectful of that number. And you're listening on the Internet, no matter where you are in the world, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, down in South America, however it is you're hearing us, anywhere outside the USA, the way to call, now listen closely because I don't get to give this out enough, is get hold of your AT&T USA Direct Access number. That's what it's called, a USA Direct Access number. You can get it from the operator for your country, or you can get it off the Internet. We've got a list up there as well. Dial that, or if you can't get that, call the AT&T operator and have her call for you 800-893-0903. That is the international number, presently blocked to the USA, Mexico, and Canada, but open to the rest of the world, toll-free. It will not cost you a penny. So again, get hold of the AT&T operator and have her call 800-893-0903 from any place in the world, and it will be completely free for you. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
Art.
Yes.
Joe in Milwaukee.
Hi, Joe.
The power outage.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember when the Freeman and Montana were taken?
Yes.
And they bypassed it with generators?
Yes.
They forgot all about those generators and they ran out of gas.
You think that was the only thing holding up the entire western U.S.?
That was, everything else is being blamed on everything else, so we might as well consider that.
Might as well.
And another thing, would it be possible to nominate George Bush at the convention? In Art Bell's terms, a wild card.
No, I don't think so.
No, huh?
I suppose, sir, thank you, that there could be a last-minute movement toward an open convention. That would be very exciting, but it's not going to happen. Bob Dole is going to be the nominee. He is now the presumptive nominee. He's got everything locked up. The Republican convention, more than the Democrat convention, is a kind of done deal. Now, I'm not going to be here for the convention. I will be on vacation. But short of a Buchanan revolution, which I do not expect, it's going to be, I'm sorry to say, a kind of boring rubber stamp on Bob Dole's back, and he's going to be the nominee. God, I'd like to interview Bob Dole. He's got to stay away from the Katie Courics, and he's got to get to some people like me. And this is no big brag statement, but I would just give him a good interview, and it would have to be long enough. And we've got to get to know Bob Dole. I just don't know what it is about the kind of interview that Katie Couric would give, but And I also don't know where his advisors' heads can be, sending him to Katie Couric, knowing exactly what would occur. And predictably, it did. First-time caller line, you're on the air.
Let me implement standard operating procedure and turn down my radio.
That'd be good. Tell us where you're calling from, please. Oh, he's left his phone. Where are you calling from? Yes, where are you calling from, please? Let me try it again. Where are you calling from, please?
Oh, I'm calling from Anchorage.
Anchorage, Alaska, all right.
I just saw ID4, pretty awesome movie, filled with the typical Hollywood glitzy scenes. It brought to mind a question, though. If we are being visited by UFOs, wouldn't SETI pick it up or some other kind of radar? And then do you think that information would be kept confidential?
Possibly. The answer is SETI is looking with radio telescopes and listening on many frequencies. They are not an optical setup. They are not looking for things flying about in the atmosphere. So would they pick it up? No. If SETI were to receive a signal, would they tell us? My feeling is probably not. What do the rest of you think? I really think the answer is in all probability not. All right, we're going to take a quick break here, do a couple of things, and resume answering your calls. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm talking to you about, because I just developed a flying saucer repelling machine.
I'm sorry?
I said I've just developed a machine that repels flying saucers.
Oh.
Yes, I live around Roswell, New Mexico.
Yes.
And I had very, very terrible time. I was being abducted once a month, twice a month sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
And so what is the nature of this machine?
Well, you see, it emits this microwave signal, and about a 2-mile radius around me.
Yes.
And it seems to be doing the trick. They haven't touched me at all.
Well,
excuse me?
I said, well, your time is short.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Art.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah,
and
very,
it'd
very.
be a failure of your machine.
It's not failing.
They're going to take you up and they're going to put long needles in your ear.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about them.
Them, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, Art.
Oh, sir.
Why do you say that? You have no faith in my machine?
No.
Why?
Well, because their technology is far, far beyond your little piddly microwave machine.
Oh, yeah? And how about your piddly life, huh?
How about
that?
How about it? I haven't been abducted. You're the one who's been abducted.
Oh, yeah? You haven't been abducted, huh?
Nope.
Well, you sit around and you talk about your Bob Dole and how much you hate Clinton and all that. Well, I think you've been abducted. I think you've been abducted by your lies. That's what I think.
You think I'm lying?
No.
That I actually love Bill Clinton, you think?
No, I think that surrounding you are people that are just monsters, and you're just feasting on them and pitying people for their upper ability compared to yours. Listen.
I pity you.
Oh, yeah? You pity me, huh?
I pity you.
Yeah, well, I'm sick of you.
You're going up again, sir, and soon.
What?
You're going up again soon.
Going up where, huh?
You know where.
Oh, yeah.
Needles. Long, long needles.
Oh, yeah? You know what?
What?
I'm shaking.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Friendly call, huh? He was doing all right until we got to the machine part. Wildcard line, you're on the air. Hello.
Good morning, Art.
Good morning to you.
This is Diane in Placentia.
Yes.
KBC.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Listening to all the discussion about Mr. Clinton, I thought maybe I might mention something that's happened out here in California in the city of Fullerton.
Yes.
The 714 area code, if anybody wants to check this. Anyway, Because the state of California has, let's say, had a lot of problems with defense leaving and bases and everything closing.
Yes.
The state has taken more taxes from the people, the cities. So in the case of Fullerton, the police department had to cut back on lieutenants and sergeants and what have you.
Yes.
And didn't hire anybody for 3 years.
Okay.
The Justice Department or the people connected with it went out to the city and complained they weren't hiring enough minorities. And they said they had hired the last 3 years previous, were minorities. So anyway, they said, well, that wasn't going to work, even though they had 24% minorities. They were going to have 42% minorities in the city of about 150,000. Well, they said, well, what are we supposed to do? And we don't have any money. And they said they didn't care. They were going to hire 2 people from the government to oversee the actions in their office, and they were going to have to hire these minorities, whether they had to lessen the requirements or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they didn't do this, what they were going to do was they had to appear at a hearing, and if they didn't meet the requirements, they were going to have to pay retroactive salary to any minority that ever applied for a job and failed for any reason, whether it was testing or what have you, to the day that they applied. Also, any person, minority, that had ever thought about getting hired there but didn't go because they thought they'd be turned down could get paid retroactively.
Oh, come on now.
No, I said
Oh, come on.
this is the honest to God's truth.
Now, how can you receive retroactive pay for a job that you cannot prove you were going to go be interviewed for in the first place? That seems patently ridiculous, dear.
Well, I know it does, but let me tell you what happened.
Well, there's not going to be time because we're coming.
You're listening to Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. Tonight featuring Coast to Coast AM from July 2nd, 1996.
Good morning, everybody. Well, I just got a fax from somebody who said, gee, Art, you're so negative on Bob Dole, and Rush is so positive. I haven't heard Rush in quite a long time now, actually. It's been weeks. It really has been weeks since I've listened to Rush, and so maybe I could use some input. Is Rush really positive on the Dole campaign? I saw the interview yesterday with Katie Couric, and I thought it was an unmitigated disaster. Absolutely an unmitigated disaster. Bob Dole was mean-spirited, angry, non-responsive, and it was not good. It was not good. And that's my take on it, and I'm not going to sit here and jive you. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think, and that's what I think. Unless there is some grand change, I don't think there's a chance this man is going to win. Not a chance. I'd love to have him on the program, love to interview him, love to give him an opportunity to become involved in an interview that would be friendly with the intent of trying to find out what he's really all about. But I haven't listened to Rush for a long time. Is he really up on Bob Dole? Is he really? That's interesting. That's what the faxer said. And it's not that I dislike Bob Dole because I think he is an honest man. I simply think that in the arena of presidential politics, as a faxer said earlier, somebody who can't keep up reasonably with Katie Couric sure is going to have a hell of a time with Bill Clinton. So I would kind of like to know, what has Rush been doing? Big power failure in the West, 112 degrees here where I am yesterday. My power has stayed on, blinked, went into a brownout, but stayed on. 11 western states went down. More information on the Viper militia down in Arizona. This apparently is something they've been working on for a long time. They managed to get somebody in there, and he almost got caught. He damn near got caught. And they accused him of being a cop. He somehow managed to get out of it. They made him take an oath, which said, quote, "If need be, I will enter into mortal combat against the enemies of the U.S. Constitution and the U.S. militia to carry out this oath, so help me God." And with that, he stayed in the Viper militia, and the bust came down. The Menendez brothers, Lyle and Eric, life in prison without parole, hoping they'll be in the same prison so they can finish college together. And we're beginning to get a flood of reviews on Independence Day, and I have yet to get a bad one. Everybody is raving about it. Everybody out there is kind of in a crazy mood this morning. I sense that. People are kind of strange. That's what I think. They're strange. Maybe I am too. Maybe we're all stranged out. Maybe whatever took down the power grid is now affecting all of us. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hey, Art Bell, this Italian Stallion.
Yes, how you doing?
Pretty good. Bob Dole, God, that was horrible with that interview today.
I know.
And I'm a Republican, and I'm conservative, and I'm real strong. But I tell you, the way he looked today, I would vote for Clinton. That's really a sad statement, but seeing him getting mad like that, and just think if he was in a real horrible situation in the United States. But I wanted to mention another thing, some bad news for everybody that stays up at these times of hours.
Yes.
Well, there's been studies that, that people that stay up during these hours have a shorter life.
Really?
Yes. I've been doing a lot of reading. I've heard this from other people that have been studying sleep and REM sleep, and they say that we need certain types of ultraviolet rays during the day. We do need certain types of light that is good for us, and if we don't get out during the day and get those certain types of rays, this is a true fact that they say that we live a shorter life, and that's kind of sad. So that's all I wanted to say.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Take care. I don't know that to be true. As a matter of fact, a lot of science now says that the sun is not good for you. It will age you prematurely. It will give you some chance of cancer, a very serious kind of melanoma cancer, skin cancer. So I don't know. Longer life, shorter life, I don't know. I've not seen any studies that say that people that stay up all night have a shorter life. Maybe so. Who cares? Wildcard line, you're on the air.
Hey, Art.
Hey, sir.
Rittmeister Gerhardt, conservative in California.
Yes, Heitmeister.
I don't really care how bad Bob Dole looks. I'm going to vote for him anyway, even though the foreign policy seems to be identical with the Clintonista.
Yes, it does.
With Haiti, Bosnia, Somalia, all of these disasters, Dole went along with Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
And people like me were out there trying to say, look, the only way that the conservatives should go is Pat Buchanan. And you know as well as I do that Pat Buchanan would chew up and spit out into unequal little piles Bill Clinton. And it would be a glory. It would be a pleasure to watch him do it. Now, the Republican Party seems to be intent on doing what they did in 1976. You know what that was. And I'm kind of unhappy with that, really. But maybe something will happen between now and the convention.
Best thing to hope for. All right, thank you. Heitmeister, thank you. Look. Maybe something will happen. That's the best thing you said. Something to hope for. I don't think so, though, and I believe the convention is going to nominate Bob Dole. And I would ask those of you who have listened to Rush, has he really been positive on Bob Dole? That's what somebody faxed me and said, boy, Rush has been so positive on Bob Dole, and you have been so negative. And I guess I am negative. I am. I admit it. I am. So negative, frankly, that I'm bored with the whole political process. Not all that interested in even talking about it. But, this interview with Katie Couric earlier today pointed out and just again underlined for me all the problems I have with Bob Dole. Do I think that Buchanan, of course, is great in argument. Buchanan is great in debate. But believe me, Bill Clinton would have chewed up into little indecipherable pieces Mr. Buchanan on a number of issues. Mr. Buchanan self-destructed, and the fact that Mr. Buchanan couldn't keep it together long enough to take Bob Dole tells you that in a very different sort of way, it would have been a very contentious, interesting campaign with Buchanan, but he would have lost. And he would have been painted as a radical, successfully painted. Every rough thing that Mr. Buchanan had ever said would be dredged up and used against him. And in the primaries, Mr. Buchanan self-destructed. Now, the Buchanan supporters that are out there would say it was vote fraud. No, it wasn't. Mr. Buchanan, in Arizona, self-destructed. First-time caller line, you're on the air.
Well, hello, Art. This is fortunate.
Well, you're on the air.
Yeah. My name is Quetzal, and I'm calling from Hawaii.
All right.
And I heard you say that you thought things were getting a little weird, and I think I had to agree with you. I did listen to Rush today, and he did say that he felt, I think ABC is still his slogan, anybody but Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's a Republican. And I think he puts his hopes with Bob Dole.
So he's very positive on Bob Dole.
Yeah, to a point. He's not happy with Dole's lack of excitement. I think Rush would just as soon run himself, except he really doesn't want to because he's happy where he is.
Yeah, so am I. I understand how he feels.
Yeah.
I just can't get excited about Bob Dole. I guess I look at things in a harder way or a more realistic way, and I watched Dole try to deal with Katie Couric yesterday unsuccessfully, and I just don't see that he's going to be able to deal with Bill Clinton at all.
Right, and she's not quite the big leagues.
No.
If he can't handle that, then perhaps he needs some assistance.
That's my take, and I just can't bring myself to toe the party line when I don't feel it.
I hear you.
That's not me.
Do you believe that a proper pick of a vice presidential candidate will make enough of a difference?
No.
I don't.
I think it would create excitement, and I'm sure they're depending on the convention in San Diego and the vice presidential choice to create excitement, and it will for a bit. But in the end, the people are going to vote for either Bill Clinton or Bob Dole. Just like they always do.
Yes, and you're right. And that's probably what it will boil down to. Unless something happens between now and then, as the last person said.
Yeah, like a comet strike.
Well, there is one out there, Art.
Yeah, I know. All right, thank you very much. A comet strike or perhaps a war or a big foreign policy choice made incorrectly, God help us. No, I'm sorry. I'm not a party line person. I have certain basic beliefs which generally are on the conservative side, economically certainly, and to some degree politically. I'm a mixture, though, and I always have been. In this particular presidential election, I simply am unexcited, uninspired, frankly a little frightened of what I see coming. If Mr. Dole does not do any better with Mr. Clinton than he did with Katie Couric, it's not just the presidency at risk. It's the House, the Senate, it's Supreme Court nominations, it's federal nominations, judgeships. There's a lot at stake, and it's not going very well. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Bell.
Good morning.
This is Chris in Nashville, listening to WWTN.
Hi, Chris.
Couple of quick comments. I think Dole would stand a chance if he turned around and changed the direction of his campaign and at the convention, nominated his wife for vice president. She's a very capable person. She's held cabinet posts. She's run the American Red Cross wonderfully for a couple of years now, and changed the point of campaign to being, do you want those people or do you want us with our family values and track record?
Wouldn't you think the Democrats would say nepotism?
Let them. I mean, you got Hillary running that thing now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Hillary stepped in and without any authority whatsoever, and did the healthcare disaster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why not let Ms. Dole try? I think she could do better. And on the quickening deal, I look at society pretty much like a freight train running away down a mountain. And every time it goes around a curve and cracks a whip, we get a few more of these nutcases popping off.
I do agree.
And a couple weeks back, somebody mentioned Carl Sagan had written a fictional book on encountering extraterrestrials. The name of that, and nobody knew the name of the book, and nobody called in with the name. The name of the book was called Contact.
Yes.
Thank you, Art. Have a good night.
Take care. That is not his newest book. His newest book, and I can't recall the title of it right now, has something to do with evil on Earth. I can't recall. Yeah, I'm not going to get artificially excited at all. I'm just not going to do it, and I don't feel it is my position as a talk show host to do that. So I'm going to tell you what I think as we go. I'm not going to give you false hope. I'm not a cheerleader for any political party nor any candidate. I don't feel like cheerleading. I feel like observing. And so I'm going to observe, I hope, accurately and fairly. I'm not going to take after anybody unfairly. I have never done that. Even with President Clinton, I really have not done that. I would interview any of them and all of them. I do plan to interview Harry Brown. He will no doubt be the nominee after the July 4th weekend. And I would interview Bill Clinton and Bob Dole. I would very much like to do that, matter of fact. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Hi, this is Tanya in Fairbanks, Alaska.
How's everything way up north?
Fine. I happened to catch the Katie Couric interview this morning.
And what was your take on it?
Oh, if I was Elizabeth sitting there, I wanted to cover his mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. It really was that bad.
It was awful. I'm not a Republican, but right now, I don't know. I throw up my hands. I wish Clinton would bow out and they'd pick another Democrat.
I'm sure privately they are rejoicing at the White House.
Oh, I'm sure they are, but I wouldn't be rejoicing too long with all the Whitewater and other things coming down.
Well, that's it, though. They're not really coming down. They're out there percolating, but they really haven't gone anywhere. For all the allegations and accusations and the president running out and having midnight trysts and all the rest of it, none of it has really been proven. None of it has really come to the president's doorstep. It's all around him, but not to him.
Yeah. Well, as far as him and Dole is concerned, I find them one and the same.
I appreciate your call, and I wonder if there would be a detectable difference in the way the two men would govern. Oh, there would be a difference, but would it be that detectable? No, I'm just unable to get arguably excited about politics right now, period. Wildcard line, you're on the air. Hi.
Bill down here in Tucson.
Hi, Bill.
The latest Carl Sagan book was called The Demon-Haunted World.
There you are. Thank you.
I'm reading it right now. I missed that Bob Dole interview. I was wondering, was it really that bad? What happened?
Yes, it was that bad. Katie Couric came after Bob Dole on the issue of tobacco and tobacco money and all the rest of it, and he stumbled and bumbled and looked bad and sounded angry and mean, talked about maybe the Federal Election Commission ought to look into liberal news outlets and people like Katie Couric, and it was just awful.
Okay. Well, how long was the interview? Did he get mad like towards the end, or The whole interview? Was it like a 15-minute interview?
He was kind of in a surly mood for the whole thing. I'm sure that if you watch CNN or maybe the NBC overnight show tonight, they'll do a repeat of it and you can get to see it.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, you're welcome. It was very discouraging. And if you take that Bob Dole and you project that Bob Dole into the campaign, I think you can readily see what's going to happen. And as I've said several times tonight, I'm not going to be toting any party line just to tote it. I'm going to come on here and tell you exactly what I think. And sometimes that's not necessarily encouraging, and this is one of those days. Do I see it changing? No, I really don't. Do you? Ask yourself honestly, do you think this is a man who can beat Bill Clinton? Tell me. You tell me, honestly, do you? Make it come from the heart. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. Tonight featuring Coast to Coast AM from July 2nd, 1996.
The Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. Art.
Yes, sir.
You made a comment about an interview with Bob Dole a little while ago.
That's right.
You mentioned Imus.
Yes.
Comedy routine.
Yeah.
Imus is a very influential man.
Yeah, he's very funny. But you see, he's not going to get the kind of interview that Bob Dole needs.
Right, and I totally agree with you that I think the listening audience that listens to you or Imus are the people who vote. And I can't see any problem with you having an interview with Bob Dole. But 3 or 4 hours in the middle of the night is asking a little bit too much, don't you think?
No, it depends. I would consider, in his case, it would be entirely worth it.
I totally agree with you on that. I mean, something.
So I would say, if he's back on the East Coast, where he is more times than not, that he could simply get up early. 3-hour difference, right?
Good point. I guess if you want to become president, anything goes.
Well, I know that if he continues the kind of series of interviews he had with Katie Couric, he's going down the path to obscurity.
Tell me about it.
So,
let me ask you a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's a chance of Ralph Nader?
No.
Neither do I.
You asked.
Would you vote for him?
I don't know. Probably not. I might. I'm probably going to vote for Bob Dole.
Well, yeah, I hear what you're saying.
But I'm not going to do it happily. I'm not going to do it enthusiastically. I'm going to do it, I think. I'm sure as hell not going to go vote for Bill Clinton. I don't think Brown can win. I don't think any of the also-rans can win. There's only one time I ever thought there was a chance for a third-party candidate. That was the Texan. But he blew that one up himself, too. So, realistically, it's going to be Bob Dole or Bill Clinton. I would like to enthusiastically vote for Bob Dole. Right now, I cannot say I would be doing that. Can you? West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Yeah, this is George in San Francisco.
Hi, George.
Yeah, I just wondered, did you see the movie Independence Day?
No.
No, it is an excellent movie.
It's what everybody is saying. Yeah.
I just got back from watching it.
Really?
Yeah, they're showing it every 3 hours in San Francisco till 6 a.m.
And on a scale of 10?
It's 10.5. 10.5.
That's what everybody's saying.
10.5. I mean, I go pay it again and see it again 5 more times.
Well, I'm sure they would appreciate that.
Definitely. So I definitely recommend the film.
All right.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
You got it.
Thank you. A lot of people very excited about ID4, Independence Day. And I'm going to go see it. I don't know when. I'm going to go on and work through the holiday. I'm not going to take any time off. I'll be here live on Independence Day and the day before and the day after and so forth. And why not? First time caller line, you're on the air.
Hello, Art Bell.
Yes.
Hi, I love your show, man.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I'd just like to say a personal story, if I could.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'd just like to say that a while back, let's see, last 22nd, last month, me and my friends went out to Area 51 out in Nevada. I'm sure you know about that, right?
I've heard of it, yes.
Yeah, so we went out there, and we went into restricted area unknowingly.
Yes.
And the whole time, I hiked this one hill. It was about 400 feet into restricted area, and the whole time I was listening to you. And seriously, I couldn't have made it if I hadn't been listening to you.
Really?
Yeah, you really helped me out there.
How is it we helped?
I was just so lonely up there, you know. I was up there, and I heard helicopters and stuff coming after me. And, you know, I hiked down there as fast as I could, but without listening to you, I probably couldn't have made it.
Well, we're glad we helped you make it through the experience and that you came back to tell us about it. I don't recommend that to anybody. There is a security force up there, and they don't like people. They don't like people coming around. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Oh, Art.
Hello.
This election's so important because of the judges and stuff that Clinton would put in there. And another thing, that PD-13, no one can really get a copy of it. We don't know what's in it. There might be things that give the president so much power that it would make the Constitution and the Bill of Rights void.
Do you mean 13 or 25?
Or 25. And, well, the PD, you know, the Presidential Secret Orders.
Yeah.
No one can get a copy of it. Even if you could get Bob Dole, let's say, on Dreamland. Well, the hours. And then it could be replayed again from, you know, during the week, midnight, and then on the weekend.
Bob Dole can get up early and come on this program.
Yeah, but this is highly important. Anyone you can get him on for the full thing.
Right.
And another thing that happened, well, this is a different subject, but here in San Francisco there was a young Christian couple. It was in a park.
Yes.
And they talked, and I understand they talked some people, you know, to get them off drugs. And to help clean up an area. They was involved with a park, but there was this immigrant from, well, one of those countries from below Mexico.
Yes.
A very pro-communist guy came up and killed him. And walked off and left. Now, I understand in that park, they were involved in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. But I understand in that park where they were, around it now, that area,
yes,
there has been sightings of the Virgin Mary, or Jesus' mother, some claim.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the first time I heard that one.
Well, these young couple, they were very, very pro the Constitution. They loved the Constitution. They loved our Bill of Rights. They liked the Bible. They loved Jesus. They loved the God. They were against heroin and cocaine and people using these drugs.
And so they were killed for that, huh?
Well, it's possible. This guy was a pro-communist, you know, strong communist from one of those countries from below Mexico. Just walked up
and killed him
calmly, shot him, walked off, sort of laughed.
Well, what a horrible story. That is the first I've heard of that one. Is it not a wonderful world we live in? Wildcard line, you're on the air.
Hi, Art. This is Randall from Washington.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, two comments real quick. I just saw the movie Seven, and I was real impressed. Kind of blew me away.
Yeah.
And a quick comment regarding the video that the mother taped of the two children.
Yes.
I find it real shocking, and I can't believe any parent would actually do that. It just, you know, stunned me.
Well, at least we can still be shocked.
I kind of find that it seems to me that children are more and more readily accepting violence, and it just I cannot believe that, you know.
We all are.
Yeah.
Don't you see? We all are. Thank you. We're all more readily accepting what's going on, and it's a process of numbing. It's like, what can today's news bring that was worse than yesterday? And inevitably, they come up with something. Parents videotaping their two children fighting it out in a blood fight. After a while, you know, children going through windows, being dropped from windows, children killing children. I could go on and on and on. The list is longer than my arm. and it's getting more serious by the day. Quickening? Yes. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Hey, Art Bell, how you doing?
Okay.
Hey, you know what? I had a theory about that thing up there, that power outage y'all having.
Yes, sir.
Well, you know what it might be? It might be that A&W root beer guy. They need to fire him.
It might be. Who knows?
I've had another thing. It's about, that Time guy. You know that guy, that Mad Max guy you have?
Madman Markham?
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
I had a theory about that. If I was him, I would step through that portal.
In other words, you'd say, I've had it. This place is a bummer. Goodbye.
Well, I'd bring enough stuff for me. It'd be something exciting.
Uh-huh. Well, who knows? You would disappear, and we would never know whether you made it to the other side or simply vaporized. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Yeah, Art, this is James in Houston.
Yes, sir.
You were talking about Limbaugh. I listen to Limbaugh every day, and I can't see how he could possibly be positive on Dole. He spends 3 hours a day bashing Clinton. I mean, if it's not Clinton, it's his wife, his staff, the White House, everybody.
So he's not exactly pro-Dole. He's more just anti-Clinton.
Absolutely anti-Clinton all the way. Mm-hmm. And I think you were right about all the bashing on Clinton. Limbaugh is one of the main culprits. Like you said, he's been bashing him since day one, and people have become immune. They can't believe anything that's coming out anymore. It's just been so much dirt.
Yeah, there is that. There really is. I really think that is what has happened here. If there had not been much about Clinton, there hadn't been this constant drumbeat of bashing that really didn't end up going anywhere, and the FBI files thing had come along, people would have been genuinely shocked and upset.
Absolutely. Abuse of power, and
sure.
they would believe a grain of truth in some of these scandals, but it's just been so nonstop that people say it's all politics, it's all
I know.
politically based, and they just don't want to believe it anymore. And like you said before, the economy's good, people are working, and I think people do vote their pocketbook.
Mm-hmm.
And unless we go into some kind of a deep recession between now and November, which is pretty unlikely.
I'm not going to wish for that.
I think Clinton has definitely got this one locked up.
Sure.
Unless he totally does something just so outrageous that people just can't overlook it.
I agree.
But I think Dole is just the wrong guy at the wrong time.
I agree.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you. And I wish I could be, I would feel different about it, but I don't. Maybe that's why I just don't talk about politics that much. Although in the last few days I have been. It's unavoidable. When something like the Couric interview occurs, it's unavoidable. It underscores, again, to me, the relative hopelessness of the situation. And I'm just not happy about it. Not going to pretend with you I'm not happy about it. First-time caller line, you're on the air. Hi.
Art Bell.
Yes, sir.
This is Cliff from Denver.
Hi, Cliff.
I've been very much enjoying your program.
Thank you.
And as a little note, I consider myself sort of a writer type. The Liberty Bell, the Dinner Bell, and now it's Art Bell for me. I have a small theory. It may or may not be applicable to the power outage, and that is that when I listened the other night about the sunspots and the earthquakes and the blue moon.
You bet.
I was wondering if possibly there could be something building in either the gravity or magnetic forces out in the area there where the earthquakes have been happening that would have somehow or other affected knocking out some of these power source generators.
I sure don't rule it out.
Yeah. This may not be what happened. They may not know what happened, and they may come up with another story to appease everybody. I don't know.
What happened in Denver?
It was spotty. In some places here, the power was out, and other places it wasn't. There seemed to be no rhyme or reason, particularly why 5 blocks south the people never knew that anybody had any power out, except 2 blocks away from them, the street lights weren't working.
Well, it's a good thing we kept it here. I would have had to have abandoned the place. It was 112 degrees, and we would not have lasted long.
I myself happen to have a normal body temperature of 97, unlike most people, 98.6. I don't know how you people can live when it's 100 degrees, because when it's 100 degrees here, I am totally miserable.
Air conditioning.
Even with air conditioning, that's fine, but when you have to step outside to mow the lawn or whatever, you don't have air conditioning then.
Well, I don't have a lawn, number one.
Well, that saves water, doesn't it?
That's right. I have desert. Thank you very much. And I'm one of those people who believes that the natural environment should be maintained, the natural ecology of the area, and what we have here is desert. And I think people who bring in and plant large areas of greenery, even though it can be sustained with water, are doing the wrong thing. It is abnormal, unnatural, not right. So I don't do it. Yeah, I sometimes I don't even know why I get off on this. You know, the problem is I care about politics. I care about our country. I care about our future. And so I guess I just cannot help it. And I think about it. And when I see something like the Couric interview earlier today, it depresses me. It reminds me of what's about to happen. And I'm almost getting to the point where I consider it to be inevitable, and I probably shouldn't dwell on it, or I should find a way to avoid it. I'm not sure there is a way. You know, it's coming on like a freight train. And I wish I saw it in a different way. Maybe I wish I was the kind of person who could come on here and sort of be a cheerleader for the team when it's down. But I'm not that. I'm very realistic with myself. I don't lie to myself, and I'm sure as hell not going to lie to you. And what I see coming is an absolute unmitigated disaster. And I'm not happy about it. First time caller line, you're on the air. Hi. Hello. Hello.
Hey.
Turn that radio off.
Okay, it's
There you go. All right.
What is this, time delay?
Yes.
Okay. Art.
Yes.
This is Raynard in Houston.
Yes, sir.
I agree with one thing there that you said there about not really belonging to a party, but kind of just, supporting your beliefs.
Well, what I said was I don't toe any party line for anybody. That's not me. I'm rather independent.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's beautiful. I've always been the same way. I started out kind of liberal, then I moved to Texas here, and then I got a little more conservative as I went along.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you feel that instead of a guy like Dole going into office, wouldn't the country be a little safer with an administration that's been in there for 4 years? You know, that has something going instead of starting from scratch and then having Dole get kicked out in another 4 years?
Well, it depends on how you feel about the current administration.
Yeah, well, I hate talking politics anyway.
Well, it's almost it's almost inevitable as we approach the convention.
Right.
The election.
Well, every election, I just kind of get a little perturbed that sometimes I feel like I don't like the guy that's in there. I don't like the guy that's coming in, and I just feel like, well,
yeah,
I don't like the guy in there. But he's got something established and he's got things going, and I don't believe a president can do a job in 4 years. I don't believe their task with the budget and everything can be done in 4 years. It's a big job.
It is. There's no question about it. It is. And I'm very much the way you are, although I must admit in recent elections, I've usually figured out something to get a little excited about. In this particular election, I am totally unexcited.
Right. I have been for quite a while.
Well, that makes most of us.
Yeah, I think the whole country's kind of going that way, don't you think?
Yes, sir.
I think that's
I do, and I'm going to make a resolution. I swear I'm going to stop talking about it. I'm going to stop talking about it. Thank you very much for the call. All I manage to do is depress myself when I do it. And I don't feel like doing that. So I will conjure other things to talk about. That is my resolution. Now, at times it's going to be unavoidable. Tonight was one of those times. I watched the Couric interview and I put my head in my hands and I went, oh man, we're doomed. I suppose I should be artificially optimistic, but I just refuse to do it.
This is Premier Networks. That was Art Bell hosting Coast to Coast AM on this Somewhere in Time. Somewhere in Time with Art Bell continues, courtesy of Premier Networks.
I actually feel like crap tonight. You have those days. And tonight I just feel like absolute rolled up dog poop. And it began early this morning with the Katie Couric thing. As I said, I put my head in my hands. I said, oh man. Here's here's something to cheer me up. Art, the major difference between Dole and Clinton is 80% of what Clinton says is a lie, and only about 20% of what Dole says is a lie. Now, there's a good reason for supporting Bob Dole, because you cannot trust hardly anything that Clinton says. Keep up the good work. Signed, Marvin. Cool, Marvin. So, in other words, vote for the least of the liars. I swear. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Oh, hi, Art. This is Ian in St. Louis.
How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. I was just wanting to say that the only way I would vote for Clinton is if he divorced Hillary, because, either one of them, but both together, they're sickening.
Really?
And I'm hoping that the, Congress will stay Republican.
Let's say he divorced Hillary. Who would you think would be a proper mate for Mr. Clinton?
Oh, I don't know. Just somebody who's, a little less intense than her. She's really, I don't know, she just gets on my nerves,
Uh-huh.
So, well, yeah, I just hope the Congress will stay Republican. That way, there's some sort of, stop, to stop his, crazy ways.
Yeah, I agree with you. Thank you. You know what? Under most normal circumstances and elections, I would think that what would occur would be the Congress and the Senate would mainly remain Republican majorities, and that Bill Clinton would get reelected. That's if you had a reasonable Republican candidate. But what we have is Bob Dole. So what I expect and fear is Bill Clinton coming back to office, but with a majority in the Senate. Well, no, let's say in the House and maybe the Senate. So it's like the worst. Depressing, huh? Wildcard line, you're on the air.
Yeah, Art Bell, this is the Shadow. How you doing?
Well, are you listening?
Yeah.
Well, you know how I'm doing. I'm not doing very well.
Okay, two things I'd like to talk about. First about the election and also about the movie ID4.
Yes.
Well, first of all, I'm the guy that hanged up when you called. What happened was I panicked. I hit instead of hitting the power button to the radio, I hit the receiver button.
I see.
Anyway, ID4, sure they were good what the guy was saying with the word crusades or whatever the word was, a lot of phrases and stuff.
Yes.
I thought those were pretty good. Some of them were good ones, and what they used, I thought they were put to good at right spots. I thought that, this is a space invasion movie, to say the least.
To say the least.
Yeah, and it should have really good effects, and it was good effects. And it's for July the 4th, and I thought it was very good for that as well.
All right.
But anyway, as far as the election goes, I think that as far as the Democratic Party, I compare it like the Amtrak or Greyhound bus system. You might as well forget about defeating it because it's that powerful. Just like Amtrak, you have no other choice as far as another party, as far as viable to knock them off the tracks. And so I don't think we have a really good choice as far as defeating the Democrats because they're that powerful. They're like everyone would naturally choose that, and everyone wouldn't have any chance of defeating the train or the
I think I've got the picture. Thank you. I appreciate your trying to cheer me up. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Good morning, Art. How are you? Well, I've heard. I might have something to cheer you up.
Let's hear it.
I helped you with your Gabriel's horn, and I was thinking recently you might have a lot of fun with your cat sound and your voice diffuser.
That's true. Where is my cat sound? I haven't played my cat sound in a long time.
Well, that and the voice diffuser, I think it's got to give you something to play with to cheer you up.
You're right, sir. Let me do that right now. Thank you. All right, let's do that. We'll make it double-barreled. All right, everybody.
Get your cats out. Get your cats out. Is your cat there now? Is your cat listening? Come here, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty. Well, that's it. Lay your tail right out there on the rug, kitty, and we're going to step on it again. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Are you ready, kitty? That's it. Lay it out. Well, it's not ready.
See, even that isn't going right. My cat scream isn't ready to go again. Damn it. Can't even get that right. I'm convinced, by the way, that is a cat getting its tail stepped on. And that's why all cats in the audience, I should have given everybody a lap warning first in case you had a cat on your lap. They don't like that sound. Now, if you play it enough times, they will get used to it. And after a while, they will become immune to it. My cats have now become immune to it. But the first time that I played it for them, my cat went absolutely crazy, ballistic. Running around the house, my big cat, my 17-pounder, would come running in here at about 1,000 miles an hour. All right, here we go.
Kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty. Here you go, kitty.
You're right. That cheered me up. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Oh, you're such a delight. I can't stand it. I love your diffuser. Oh, this is Tom from Salem, Oregon.
Yes, sir.
And I wanted to talk about the quickening, but you're so depressed about politics.
I am. It's true.
Sir, you're a wonderful man. And I can't imagine that you would miss the fact that as far as politics, the computer age is here. And Internet and computer government is coming.
How's that going to change it?
Well, it will be immediate politics. It will be immediate democracy. When they can't get away...
the Internet is not a way to vote.
Oh, no, it isn't. But the thing is that I have a feeling that the politicians are really just human beings, and they want to do a good job. But they're stuck, you know, and if people let them know really what they want, you know, they'll respond. And
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What percentage of the time do you think Bob Dole lies?
It depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, just give me a rough percentage.
Oh, rough percentage?
Yeah.
Where he knows he's lying?
Yeah.
That's tough. No more than a 5-year-old, probably maybe 5-10% of the time.
5 to 10%. How about Bill Clinton?
Oh, but the thing is that he's a pathological liar, so he doesn't count. He can't help himself. I mean, he doesn't know that he's lying while he's lying.
In other words, it's not his fault, so we can't really hold the 80 or 90% figure against him.
Yes, I mean, 80-90% of the time he's lying. You know, but he's a pathological liar. I mean, he doesn't know he's lying while he's lying.
And he's headed toward re-election, too.
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, want to bet?
Just take a deep breath.
Did you see Dole with Couric?
No, I didn't. I worked.
Well, that accounts for your optimism.
Well, no, the problem with, you see, one of the most delightful things about politics, I do want to talk about quickening, but
yes.
But the most delightful thing about politics is I had a dismal belief in human beings until I started sitting at at court. I was supposed to on jury duty.
Going to court has cheered you up?
Well, because all at once it dawned on me that a jury of 12
Yes.
are incredibly bright people. Individually, they're stupid. But when you get...
Collectively, they're incredibly bright. Now, perhaps you would like to take this opportunity to explain the outcome of the O.J. Simpson trial.
Oh, well, the thing is that...
Yes?
Lawyers are good.
Lawyers are good. All right, sir. Thanks for the call. Have a good morning. Lawyers are good. Juries are bright. Lawyers are good. Yeah, I watched the Couric thing, and this expresses my reaction to it. First-time caller line, you're on the air.
Yeah, Art, David, the artist from Bakersfield.
Yes, David.
I was noticing that you refer a lot to The Stand and Don't Fear the Reaper music.
That's right. I love it.
I do, too. I'm a big Stephen King fan. I don't know if this will cheer you up or not, but...
The first hour of The Stand was some of the best television ever done.
Oh, I've read the book like 4 times.
Me too.
I've watched the film probably about 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Well, I was going to tell you that I've always wanted to tell you that you remind me of the Kathy Bates character, the radio talk show host.
Who?
The radio talk show host in The Stand.
Oh.
When they're coming in and she's on the air to the very last.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, I've always anticipated being on the air until the very last, talking the comedian and...
Yep.
Sure.
Totally.
That's me.
Yep. And when we were talking about Pat Buchanan and politics...
Yes.
I know you like Pat Buchanan. I really don't, but he totally reminds me of the Martin Sheen character from The Dead Zone. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Totally.
All right, sir. Thank you. Thank you for cheering me up. See, everybody's on a mission to cheer me up this morning. It's just one of those days, folks. All right, let's do this, and we'll be right back. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hello, Art.
Hi.
Hey, calling from southeast Idaho here.
Yes, sir.
Survived the great blackout of '96.
Right.
There were some rumors going around before anybody kind of knew what was going on, things like power plants exploding and things like that. So things were up in the air for a second there with none of the stations on the air for a little while. It was... And no phones. It was kind of disquieting.
I actually heard that Idaho took about the biggest hit.
Oh man, it was out everywhere here.
Yeah,
it was really bad.
How hot was it up there today?
I believe it was in the low 90s.
Pretty
warm. Right towards the end of the blackout, we had a really fun little microburst come through here and blew the wind and picked up dust and got dust all over my truck because I left the window open.
So you guys probably thought the world was ending.
It was quite interesting. Another thing I want to ask is, have you ever heard of the Frisbeterians?
The Frisbeterians?
They worship Frisbees.
Really?
Yeah, the only problem is when their soul goes up on the roof, they can't get it down.
Goodbye, sir. Yes, goodbye. When their soul goes on the roof, they can't get it in. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art.
Hi.
This is Jay.
Hi, Jay.
We in Baton Rouge, Louisiana?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've got a question. I lost you on the air over here.
Well, it's getting late.
I got a question. If you was president, would you still keep your show on the air and transmit from the White House?
Would I still be on the air?
Yes. When you had time.
I wouldn't be president.
I just wondered if
I would much rather do what I'm doing.
I don't blame you. It's too big a job doing the other one. All right. Well, that's all I wanted to ask. And,
all right.
I do appreciate your show.
Thank you.
And you have a nice morning.
All right. I'll try. Thank you. Actually, I am beginning to feel better. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I hit rock bottom. Can't feel any worse. Got to start to feel better, right? It really was the Couric interview that did it to me. I sat there and I watched Bob Dole and I thought, oh, my God, we're dead. We're just absolutely dead. Now, a lot of you will have missed it, probably. I'll tell you what, try and catch it. I'm sure CNN is carrying part of it. I'm sure NBC on their overnight show is repeating it. You need to see it. That way you can be as depressed as I am. First-time caller line, you're on the air.
Yeah, Art, this is Max in Phoenix.
How you doing?
Good. I just wanted to tell you, first of all, bravo to the caller from Salt Lake who was disappointed in Independence Day. I went and saw it today. I was, too.
Really?
Yeah. It was really, like you said, lots of cliches, great special effects, but as far as plot, it was disappointing. Although I think it was an important film in that, a lot of people will see it, and it will provoke a lot of thought towards that subject matter.
Oh, yes.
That might not have otherwise, been turned to that. Secondly, the Viper militia here in Phoenix.
Yes.
They on the news today, they went through and they profiled like each of the members, and
yes.
They're all like the biggest white trash losers that you can ever find.
Not really warm and fuzzy guys.
Right.
Well, usually what the Patriot community does, and of course I don't put up with it, so you don't hear it here, but I'm sure on other talk shows they're saying that this was totally a government thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Am I right?
Yes, definitely.
And that the government set them up.
Right.
And that these were a bunch of nice guys setting off rockets out in the desert.
Right.
Not planning anything nasty at all.
Right. Exactly.
I'm sure.
Yeah, they totally. The news had gone up into northern Arizona because they found out where they had practiced and everything. So they went up there and they took shots of all that, and it was like this old cabin and everything, and they're turning it into a big deal. And the way it looks to me is most of these guys were they looked like they were a little out of shape to be taking over the government or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Not the kind of guys that I would really.
Well, they were not profiled as geniuses by NBC last night, but there is a sincere worry about small cells of very dedicated fringe element crazies who probably are planning and will execute similar things. So it is only the beginning.
Yes, I think so. One more thing. I am moving to New York City, and I was wondering what station are you on in New York City?
None.
New
York will be one of the last bastions that we will knock down.
Really?
But there are things going on with New York City, so there is hope. And you can hear us there on 1180 out of Rochester.
All right, great.
All right.
I've been listening to you. I just graduated from high school this year. I've been listening to you since 8th grade. Our history teacher used to tape your shows and bring them in, and we'd play them, and we'd talk about them in class.
Do you understand why I'm so depressed tonight?
Yes, I do. Definitely. I understand.
All right, thank you. Have a nice day. And we'll break here and be right back.
This is Premier Networks. That was Art. You're listening to Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. Tonight featuring Coast to Coast AM from July 2nd, 1996.
Good morning, everybody. Somebody else with the facts trying to cheer me up. We'll get to that here in a minute. This one's entitled, What is Happening to Our Children? Hi, Art. I don't know if you've heard about this incident or not, but there was recently a residence fire. I believe it was an apartment building in Aloha, Oregon, a suburb of Portland. It killed 8 people, including a number of children. News reports have been saying for a day or two that arson was suspected. Well, I just heard at the news at the top of the hour that an 8-year-old boy who was originally being praised for having helped rescue a number of people has now been interviewed, after being interviewed by authorities, charged with 8 counts of murder. There are any number of things going on in this world today that sadden me a great deal. But the horror of this downhill slide by the youngest of our children is just beyond comprehension. When I was 8 years old, my biggest problem in life was trying to console myself over being forced to use the hat playing piece rather than the race car in Monopoly. I just can't imagine a more prophetic or profound example of the quickening. I'm depressed, too, and politics is the least of it. Larry in Medford, Oregon. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Yeah, Art, have you ever seen the movie, The Stepford Wives?
Oh, yes.
A lot about what you've been talking to tonight. I just can't stop thinking about that movie. You know, the politicians and everything.
You think they're like the Stepford politicians? Well, I'll tell you at least one thing's for sure. Hillary Clinton is no Stepford wife. Thank you very much for the call. Hillary Clinton is no Stepford wife. In fact, well, I won't say it. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello. Hello, hello. Goodbye, goodbye. Wildcard line, you're on the air. Hi.
Yes, good morning, Art.
Good morning, sir. I can barely hear you.
I'll talk as loud as...
Get into that phone and speak up.
Okay, can you hear me now?
That's better.
Okay, I'm calling from Salt Lake City.
Yes, sir.
Do you think the problem could be on this blackout, the harp?
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I hate to harp on this, but maybe.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, what I find is I find it a little suspicious that in the last power outage, they never really did figure out what caused it. I mean, a third of the U.S., parts of Canada, parts of Mexico. This power outage, earlier today they said power lines between Oregon and Washington. Here about 2 hours ago, they said it was power lines or something in Colorado. I don't think they have the slightest idea what caused it. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hi, Art. Barb from Bellevue.
Hi, Barb.
On the light side, what kind of shoes do frogs wear in summer?
What kind of shoes do frogs wear in summer? I don't know.
Open-toed.
Open-toed. Thanks, Barb.
So cheer up. You only got a few more minutes. It'll be better tomorrow.
Well, it's already a little better, Barb. It's like I hit bottom, and I feel better.
Can I tell you a cat story?
Sure. Is it a good one?
Well, it's a true story.
All right.
You know, the music on the CDs. Remember those guys? Let's see, with the Inca music. I forget their name now. Well, you know, I told you about my cat that always goes to sleep by you.
Yes.
And after I bought those albums of Permac, and I put them on the air during the day.
Yes.
He got furious.
Did he?
The music belongs to you. I'm not supposed to have it.
Oh, I see. Like that.
Oh, he was absolutely furious. I haven't listened to them since. Because you played it all the time, and I kept him sort of sleeping and not roaming around the house at night with it.
That is interesting. Thank you. Cats are
story with the microphone under the pillow, kind of. You know.
Yeah. Well, cats are very weird creatures. There's no doubt about that. Very weird. I'm still working on my cat Comet. By the way, a picture of Comet, my cat, is up on the webpage. You want to see what my feral wild thing looks like? It's up there. I caught him in what I call the pinky slink when he was trucking along, and I happened to catch a pretty good picture of him, so I put that up on the web. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hi, Art. This is Stephen Boise.
Hello.
How's it going? I've heard your... I shouldn't ask that. I've heard your mood all night long.
I mean, do you really want to know?
Well, I've heard your mood all night long, and
yes.
I kind of have a solution for you.
Yes?
Because I feel pretty much identical to what you feel regarding...
yeah, it's hopeless. It's like it's hopeless.
Well, yeah, and what I've done, because I felt, you know, that politics have been hopeless for, well, since the, you know, people were announced who were running in the primaries. And what I've done is I basically knew from the beginning that Bob Dole was going to be the nominee, and I knew that even though I don't particularly like Bob Dole, that I would definitely vote for him as opposed to Clinton. And so what I've done is I've already made up my mind, and I've stopped thinking about it, and I don't dwell on it. I just, hear whatever's in the news and just leave it at that.
Do you remember the movie with Slim Pickens, How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb?
No, I don't.
You don't remember that? Well, you're probably too young. Anyway, maybe like that, we can stop worrying and learn to embrace Bill Clinton. If you can embrace the bomb, you can embrace Clinton.
Well, I don't particularly want to embrace Bill Clinton, but I know that we'll probably end up with him again. But, worrying about it isn't going to change it.
You're right. You're absolutely correct. It is not going to change it. It is going to happen. It is becoming more and more clear to me every day. First-time caller line, you're on the air.
Well, hey, Art. Just
Hey.
wanted to cheer you up a little bit and everything, trying to tell you that it's still 4 months away from the election, and there's a long way to go.
All right. Do you see that Bob Dole is going to be the candidate?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do see that.
And Bill Clinton is going to be the candidate.
Yes, I see that as well. Everything, but I also see that Filegate will unfold a little more, as it gets down toward November. But I also see Bob Dole growing in his campaign and in his persona.
Well, he's got nothing but the upside to get to.
Well, yeah. But I'm just saying, he stumbled and fell a little bit with the interview, but he'll pick himself up and he'll get right back going again. And I think we'll have a Republican in the office here coming into the next century. So I'm not really that worried about it. And everything, it's something, but. The press has been looking for something to focus on Bob Dole about, trying to find something that they can trip him up with and everything. But
well, they sure found it.
Yeah.
And this is a fairly
very long for it.
All right, thank you. This is a fairly minor thing. This whole tobacco thing is it's ridiculous. And what depresses me about it is not that it was a serious issue, but just the opposite. It was a very non-serious issue, and Bob Dole managed to totally screw it up. He could not have come out looking worse. All he had to do was go on the air and say, look, what I said was, some people don't get in fact, I know those people. I know people that can take or leave cigarettes. And that's all he had to say. And aside from that, he could have said, well, I know they're dangerous. And so forth and so on, not good for your health. Everybody knows that. But instead, he got mean. He started talking to Katie Couric about the FEC, the Federal Election Commission, how the liberals are crucifying him, how the FEC ought to look into that, how it's not fair. And, he was so mean. It's not good. Not good. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hi, Art.
Hello.
Mike in Blair, Nebraska.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Independence Day will not disappoint you.
Well,
I guarantee.
I don't think it will either,
right.
And I think these people were two people I've had call up who didn't like it.
I heard them, and I can't believe that. If you can't go and enjoy this film, then there's something wrong with you. I took along an actor friend of mine who's very much the film critic and very hard to please. He went in very skeptical, said, well, you're going to be disappointed, It'll be just all special effects. But he came out saying, I'm going again, and this is the blockbuster of the summer, without a doubt.
Well, that cheers me up.
Yeah, it's fantastic. and he said one of the things he didn't like was Will Smith being in it. He said, I hate Will Smith. He came out saying, Will was pretty good. So.
Well, I'm a big movie buff, and so I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. I'm glad to get that review. I really am looking forward to it. I do love movies. It's my one passion. Television, the FCC commissioner was correct. It is a vast wasteland. Except for Hill Street Blues on TV Land, the rest of it is worthless. Otherwise, motion pictures, yes. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Yes, this is Kevin from Pulaski, Tennessee.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I just want to say, I work over in Lewisburg, Tennessee, as a security guard,
Yes.
And I listen to your show every night, and I called you last night, by the way.
Oh.
And you keep me awake. Just basically keep me awake.
Well, I'm glad. The alternative probably would put you in the unemployment line.
Yeah. I hope you cheer up, though.
Oh, I will.
How's Cat doing?
Comet? He's doing
Comet.
Yeah, better every day, actually.
Doing better every day.
Yep.
Well, anyways, I hope you feel better and do better.
Thank you. See
All
you
right.
later. By the way, WOMI is indeed in Owensboro, is indeed an affiliate, and I was looking on my Dreamland list, and so I guess they are due to start Dreamland. I'm going to have to tell my affiliate relations department about that. Coming up this Sunday is Kurt Southerly, author of Strange Encounters, UFOs, Aliens, and Monsters Among Us. You don't suppose he means politicians, do you? Probably not. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hey, Art, how you doing?
Oh, well, lousy.
I hate to hear that. Anyways, I wanted to tell you that I can't wait to see Independence Day.
Well,
that's going to be a great film.
I think so.
Yeah, but I hate to be in a theater when it opens, you know.
You hate to be in theater? Well, we lost him. First-time caller line, you're on the air.
How do you know that I'm on the air?
Well, I don't. How do you know that what we're living in life is reality and not a dream?
What is the air?
But what we breathe, we think.
No. Do we breathe radio transmissions?
Yes, you do. All day long.
Even if you're asleep?
Even when you're asleep.
No wonder I have so many nightmares.
That's it.
No, what's happening?
You.
No, I'm not. I'm not having.
All right, then I'll see you later. Wildcard line, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hi.
It's Michael in California. I think perhaps that as we propel ourselves into the future and try and contain ourselves by 200-year-old or ancient doctrines, whether it be religiously or politically, what's happening in regards to a quickening is just a natural process, and if we don't stand back from the planet and see it as us as part of it and let go of the systems that we're trying to hang on to, we're not going to, that's the strain we're feeling, is not going freely into the funnel and the cycle.
The funnel?
Well, as things go down a funnel or down a drain or through a cycle, the downspin spins faster as they're condensed, and maybe it's a thickening.
That is true.
And I think there's been two major oppositions to the planet Mercury, which rules Gemini and communications. So I think it'll pass real quick, like with this moon.
Well,
I'm
a Gemini, you see.
I know that.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you very much. Maybe that's it, the planets. Blame it on the damn planets. Screwing with Gemini. That's what it is. The planets are messing with me, folks. That and the Couric interview. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Art.
Yes.
How you doing, Steve in Phoenix?
Okay, Steve.
I've been depressed myself, you know.
Yeah.
Recently, I think it's not so much politics. You know, my politics are secondary to me. I believe whoever it is, they're all going to be the same outcome. But I want to say to you, maybe this will cheer you up. Whatever happened to the Steve conspiracy? Because I personally have been hearing Steve all over the place. Steve this, you know, celebrities, radio, whatnot. Do you remember? We used to chat about that.
They've gone undercover.
You think so?
Into the closet. The Steve closet.
Yeah. We got how many more days? 3 more days for that window, huh?
Yes. And there have been a couple of earthquakes tonight.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Where? Do you know where? 'Cause I was sleeping.
Near San Simeon. 4.0.
Okay, thanks, Art.
You're welcome, sir. Wildcard line, you're on the air.
Yeah, hi, Art.
Hello.
Hey, there's a guy named Professor John G. Kramer, who's a nuclear physicist.
Yes.
I think he'd be a great guy to have debate Bob Lazar.
Why? Why would he debate Bob Lazar?
Well, Bob Lazar claims that you can access the strong nuclear force with element 115. And
But how do you debate about that? Because we don't yet have element 115.
Well, according to him.
On Earth.
According to him, you do.
Well, according to Bob Lazar, you do, but, I mean, where is the debate? Bob Lazar would say, I had my hands on 115, and the scientists would say, but we don't have 115 yet.
Well, no, it would be a debate about the physics involved. I mean, I looked at the model. There was a model that came out, the Lazar Force model or whatever, and in his explanation, he was talking about the strong nuclear force as being one type of gravity that was accessible only in these heavy elements. And it would be interesting to me. I don't know. If you don't think it's interesting, that's fine. I'll talk about something else. But did anybody talk about Lockheed winning the X-33?
Oh, yes.
Today?
Sure.
Because I think it would be very interesting to have someone on from Lockheed talking about the advanced concepts.
So do I.
I guess there's...
As a matter of fact, I hereby invite... that's a good idea, sir. Now you've got a good idea. I hereby invite anybody from Lockheed who could come on and talk about the X-33, what it's going to be able to do, what its capabilities are going to be, and all the rest of it. I would love to interview somebody from Lockheed about that. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Well, good morning, Art. This is Steve from Grand Junction, Colorado.
Out of the closet, eh,
and
Steve?
I'm in no way any part of this conspiracy. I don't know what that means.
Well, of course you would deny it.
That's my nature. Hey, the 4th of July is just around the corner, and, everybody's trying to cheer you up, so I might as well try too, huh?
Well,
you know, us guys like to blow up stuff, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever made a dry ice bomb?
No.
You know how to make one?
Well,
as far as I know, they're legal in all 48 states, so it's okay. You just get a chunk of dry ice about as big as your fist.
Yeah.
And a 2-liter plastic soda bottle.
Yeah.
And you hack up that piece of dry ice till it fits down the neck of the bottle.
Yeah.
And then you put about a pint of water in it.
Yeah.
Tighten that cap on as tight as you can get it.
Yeah.
Put it wherever you want it. And then you wait about 2 minutes, and it'll blow the hell out of stuff.
You mean a glass bottle?
No, don't use a glass one. That's a really cruel bomb.
Yeah, it would be.
Use a plastic one.
And it really goes boom, huh?
Oh, it goes boom good. Yeah. It'll blow the hell out of a mailbox, but don't tell anybody I told you that.
All right.
Have a nice 4th, man.
Right. Thanks. See you later. Homemade fireworks. A dry ice bomb. No, I've never heard of that. Never have heard of that. It's a new one. First time caller line, you're on the air. Hi.
Art Bell.
Yes.
Tim in Boise, Idaho.
Hello.
And a couple of things. One thing to cheer me up and one thing hopefully to cheer you up.
Sure.
Could you post Maria Muldaur's picture on your webpage? You talked about how beautiful she is.
She is. I have one photograph of her, but it's not the greatest. So if anybody has a good picture of Maria Muldaur at her youngest best, send it to me and I'll post it. Sure.
What a deal.
How's that?
And then something to cheer you up.
Sure. Well, that would cheer me up.
That's you. The new TV show, Third Rock from the Sun. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, you've got to catch it.
Really?
It's the funniest show on television.
Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh, with John Lithgow, of GARP fame.
I'll check it out.
It's great.
All right, sir. Thank you.
All righty.
Right. Third Rock from the Sun. That's us. All right. Wild card line, you're on the air.
Yeah, this is Bob Dole. Hi.
Hi.
Why are you talking about me like that?
You do sound like Bob Dole.
I do?
You do?
I am.
Are you really?
Yes, I am. I'm running for the president, and you're trying to make fun of me?
I wouldn't make fun of you, Bob Dole.
No.
There's no way, anyway, that I could do to you that which you're so busily doing to yourself.
What am I doing to myself?
Well, you're doing it to Bob Dole. You got to remember, Bob Dole always talks about himself, not in the first person.
No.
Hey, listen.
You got it.
Mr. Dole.
Yes.
You get the honors. You know what the honors are, Mr. Dole?
Yes.
Do it.
Okay. Good night, America.
Well, there you go. That's it, folks. See you tomorrow. It'll be a better day. I'm Art Bell. Good night, America.
Thank you for tuning in to Archive Obscura. Please like and subscribe.